Hey YouTubers, in this video I'm going to try and cover a few reasons why I left my church. It's mostly because of compromise and worldliness and just things in the leadership that I don't feel should be accepted in the church. Just some background on this. This is just the most recent issue that led me to head a separate direction. There's other issues that I might cover later. I haven't decided on that yet. What happened was there's a young kid that goes to that church. He's about 17 years old. He listens to what he would call Christian metal, which seems to be widely accepted in much of the modern church. Christian metal, hardcore, screamo, whatever you want to call it. There's plenty of people on YouTube that defend this as Christian music and defend the lifestyles of these people as being Christian. But if you look at their videos, you look at their lyrics, and just look at their appearance, it's plain to see that it's not of God. Back to the background story. This kid, 17 years old, was listening to this music, and he posted one of these songs on his Facebook. Now I talked to this kid. It's not just like he's just some acquaintance that I've never spoken to. But I've talked to him about all kinds of things. And when I saw this song listed on his Facebook page, I believe I said this in a way that wasn't an attack and wasn't demeaning or anything, but what I said was, this music really isn't godly. It isn't something a Christian should be listening to. It's opening a door to Satan and just all these things. And I never said, hey, you're not a Christian. Hey, this stuff's going to take you to hell. I never said any of that. I just said, I've got your best interest in mind, and I don't think this is something that a Christian should be engaging in. So, with that said, let me show you a few of the things that this music represents itself as, to see if you're on the same page with me. I don't want to just say this stuff without giving you some evidence. So, look at a few things here. Alright, this band called My Children, My Bride, they claim to be a Christian metal hardcore band. This is off their MySpace page. So this isn't just like some fan art or something. This is something the band did themselves, I suppose. But you look at their, I guess this is the cover for their next album or their latest album. Skulls and flies and all that stuff. That's real Christian, right? Looks to me more like it's trying to portray death and all that kind of crap. You go down here and you look at their picture, it says right above their thing, Christian metal hardcore. Doesn't seem like a big deal looking at just this stuff, but check out their videos. Alright, so you're telling me if I put that band next to a secular band that looked and sounded just like them, would you be able to tell one from the other? You're going to tell me that's Christian? And there's people out here that defend this. They say that that's worship. Shout to the Lord, yeah. What about 1 Thessalonians 5:22? Abstain from all appearance of evil. These guys are covered in tattoos. The guy's got big gauged ears. And I'm not saying these things can say a person's not a Christian. There's plenty of people that came out of that lifestyle and still have all that stuff. But to continue to get that kind of stuff and to after you get saved, go out and get new tattoos and all this stuff, I don't think that represents what a Christian should be, and it certainly doesn't abstain from all appearance of evil. That's just part of it. Just listening to the music. What about putting off the old man? Anger, malice, wrath, all these things. God's all about joy and peace and, not screaming and looking like you're angry and looking like you're, just ticked off at everybody. That's not how any Christian should present themselves, honestly. And I don't know, let me show you some more. Here's some of the t-shirts for that band, My Children, My Bride. The Christian t-shirt on the left says, I survived my children, my bride. The guy's got, I guess, half his face ripped off and a bunch of... He looks like a guy off of Michael Jackson's Thriller. And then the one on the right, I think you can figure that one out. There's a third shirt. Anybody that thinks this stuff is Christian probably thinks Obama's a Christian too. So look at him with his My Children, My Bride t-shirt. Here's the logo for a Christian metalcore band called Oh Sleeper. It's obviously the bottom end of a pentagram. Here's a small clip from a video from a band called Sleeping Giant. Apparently they've got Christian testimonies and they pray before shows. Their lyrics might even sound Christian, but look at this concert that they're playing in a church. I think most of you are seeing the point I'm trying to make here. Is moshing worship? Is it worship to go kicking and swinging around in a mosh pit and acting out in violence? I know from personal experience because before I got saved, the last two concerts I went to were Deftones and Static X, both pretty heavy bands, probably on par with this stuff. Moshing doesn't lead to anything peaceful or anything like worship. If anything, you might be worshiping the band or the music, but it's not worshiping God. In the last concert that I was at, the mosh pit got so wild that a guy swung at me and just barely missed me, and I put him in a chokehold and dragged him down into the crowd, and then he came down over me like he was going to punch me. I almost kicked him in the face. So if you're telling me that Christians can mosh like that and that's worship and it's no different than being at a secular concert, I don't believe you. And to say that music is godly in any way, or there's just too much evidence to say that it isn't. It looks evil, it sounds evil. So if this is Christian music, let's see if this applies. Luke 6:43. For a good tree does not bear bad fruit, nor does a bad tree bear good fruit. So this band being Christian, is that fruit of violence in the mosh pit? Is that good fruit? Let's say, for instance, there's a small chance that they're reaching out to metalheads and maybe some guys are getting saved. Are they showing a godly lifestyle after conversion? What about the kids in like youth group or something? Say you go to a church and a kid in the youth group is just listening to Third Day or something a little milder, and then a friend comes along and says that this stuff is good Christian music. Maybe that kid isn't as grounded in God and the Bible as some others might be, and then he goes slipping into secular music, which leads to drugs and alcohol and everything else. You're telling me that perhaps this could be a ministry to a couple metalheads to get them saved, but how many thousands are you leading away from God by looking and sounding exactly like secular music? I think I've made my case for why this music is evil and doesn't belong in the church. Perhaps that one band might be saved. I can't say for them. That's ultimately up to God. But when the pastor of that church that I left says that this is a personal conviction for me to say that this is evil and something that is just a stumbling block to me, but not to someone else, I can't agree with that. This is, even if it's slightly Christian, but it's packaged, like Satan, it's just opening a door for Satan to get his foot in just enough to, tell one of them kids, hey man, this band over here, they look and sound just the same as that Sleeping Giant. What's wrong with going to one of their concerts? And then anybody that's been down the road of sin knows how it goes. You just keep on letting one thing slide, and you keep on stepping farther and farther away than what you intended.